So we should be back now. Hopefully, everything's okay. So, like I said, we should be back. I'm trying to put this put the chat on the thing. Yeah, we can do that, but no, I don't want to do that. But yeah, so we're back. Hopefully, the problems that we were having are all gone. I don't know. Let's take a look. Mm, mm. So I just want to talk a little bit about this hack because it is affecting the cryptocurrency market pretty badly. Uh, so I just wanted to talk about this because a lot of people are asking me. It's better. Sometimes it's better to jump online. You normally don't jump online on a Friday night, but I thought this was a time in which it makes sense to do so. Make sure the video and audio is good. Now it looks like on my side a little bit. Uh, we dropped the quality, so it looks like it's okay now. So hopefully it is. So So, like I said, is that Bybit, there was one of the biggest hack in crypto history happened a few hours ago, right when Bitcoin was passing that $100,000 mark. Bitcoin was on the verge of breaking past $100,000 again. The bit momentum was strong, and the market was ready for an historic move. Then out of nowhere, the price just collapsed. Nobody knew what was happening, but an hour or so later, it was announced that Bit Bybit was hacked, a $1.5 billion hack, all Ethereum. Ethereum started dumping, panic set in. Altcoins, a lot of altcoins I built on Ethereum start panicking. A lot of people saw that $100,000 mark was a psychological barrier that if we got past it again, we would see Bitcoin rise to new highs. But right before it happened, these hacks always happen right when Bitcoin is on the highest momentum. Even in a down market in the stock market, Bitcoin was rising. Ethereum fell 4.5%. It's still falling right now. Biggest crypto theft in history. The hackers started selling off Ethereum very quickly. So, and the weird thing about it is that I think it's some market manipulation taking place. And now I'm going to tell you why I think this. Now, 10 days ago, there was a weird rise in Ethereum short positions by hedge funds. Look, this is February 11th, 2025. Ethereum has been on significant rise in short positions recently as hedge funds bet on the asset's continued decline. In the past week alone, short positions on Ethereum increased by 40% out of nowhere. And since November, surged by a massive 500%. Now, I don't put anything past these people. They'll do anything for money. Greed is like a lot of people I know are like that. They get so greedy they'll stab people in the back, rip them off, whatever it takes to get a dollar. And like this scammers, even on my Instagram page. I mean, no, how could you scam somebody out of money? I don't get how these people do that. How can you scam people? I don't get it. But people do it. People get so greedy for money. They do whatever they'll burn people, whatever it takes. And that's what these hedge funds will do. If they can't make it the right way, they'll find a way to make it the wrong way, but they're going to make it regardless. They don't care about people. They don't care about who they hurt. As long as they make a dollar, that's all they care about. And that's what was weird about this whole situation. Did they know before? Because it was weird that there was such a large short position by whales before that. Now, there's been historical examples of suspicious crypto crashes since the beginning of cryptocurrency. And it's very weird. Uh, Now let's break down this biggest crypto theft in history. Bybit has confirmed $1.5 billion in hack, but they say that they can get it back. So that kind of stabilized the market because Bybit has just come out and said, "Look, we can get it back." Now I don't know if it's true, but they say they can get it back. So we'll see. But the only thing I could think of to compare is Mount Gox. Mount Gox was in 2013. That's actually, if you go back, if you look at my history, I actually talk about it in my book. Um, that's what made me give up on cryptocurrency initially. Is that I got into crypto in 2009. I got in at 60, $70. I remember that was my first bit. I used to have to buy Bitcoin from a dude in the street because I didn't know Mt. Gox was the only exchange. I didn't really know about Mt. Gox that early. I think it was over. So so I I got in early, but then I rode Bitcoin from $60 all the way up to about 1100. And then Mt. Gox happened. Now, when Mt. Gox happened, I had no point of reference. So I thought that this is it. I guess that experiment's over. So I sold everything I had and moved on. Forgot about it for a year and a half. Then I looked around. Bitcoin went all the way down back to like $80. And I looked back around, it was at 300. I was like, why would it go back up? But then I started looking more into history, how markets work. And that's really was my first experience understanding. I knew how stocks work. That's what people don't understand is I knew how finance work. People read the charts and watch the technical analysis. Yeah, that helps you in certain times, but it would never predict something like this. Technical analysis, is good for people. People like to do technical analysis. I'm not putting it down, but I'm saying they like to do it. Read charts for people who don't know, is because it's objective and you don't have to have any type. You don't have to figure nothing out. It's just numbers and indicators. So people love things like that because it's nothing. It's nothing you have to figure out. It's just put the number here. That number goes here, and that works. People love that kind of stuff because it doesn't they can feel like that they're not taking a decision. The numbers are, the indicators are, but that's part of the puzzle. The whole puzzle is the manipulation in the market, how big money moves, and that's when I really started to look into these things to see why does money move like this. And I'm glad that it happened to me because I was able to understand finance at a deeper level. And around that time, I also had a guy that was a stockbroker. Years in Wall Street took me under his wing. But like for those you don't know, I used to be a white hat hacker. This is a book that's like 15 years old. It's called 2600. If you're in the computers, you know the book. I used to be a writer in this book. This is a article I wrote about how to hack Chrome. So I wrote like 10 articles. That one was I talked about how to hack Uber. Talked about how to hack this. I talked about how to hack Chrome. Different things like that. I wrote a program, a keylogger once, and I wrote about how to keylog. A keylogger is a program you put that runs in the background that saves all your keystrokes, and then eventually it gets your password. But I think modern computers have blocked that. But back then, I used to develop stuff like that for fun. And the reason I did it is to protect against those things. You have to know how the enemy works in order to protect against it. And that's really how I got into cryptocurrency because I was studying that stuff. Cryptocurrency is called crypto for a reason. It's built on cryptography and cryptology, and that's what Bitcoin's based on. And cryptology, and cryptography is in computer encryption and computer security. That's what it is. That's what crypto is based on. Those uh, those ideas and those and the way that those things are done. So that's the reason why I got into cryptocurrency early. So, like I said, a lot of people in here, I need you guys to share live to your friends. Put the word shared in the comments. Also, I need you guys, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. I would really appreciate if you subscribe to the channel. Uh, I would really appreciate it if you haven't subscribed already. So let's move on. Is the video a lot better? Hopefully it is. Yeah, I used to buy Bitcoin on the streets. I remember back in the early days of Bitcoin. I don't want to go too far here, but we used to meet people in hotels. You want to sell like 10,000 in Bitcoin, where is she going to do it? You meet in a hotel and the dude throw a duffel bag at you full of hundreds or whatever, or maybe 20s, or maybe small bills. I don't know. And you do the Bitcoin transfer and walk away with the duffel bag. That's how it was in the early days before the exchanges and Coinbase and all this stuff. I was in there very early, 2 years after inception, a little bit under 2 years. It was crazy back then. But that insight has helped me make a lot more money now because I have that insight. And the people who do technical analysis, they fail in down markets. They fail in long markets. They only can make money a lot of times when the market's going straight up. It's easy to do TA when the market's going up. So everybody wins in TA when the market's going. When it's going down or sideways is the problem. Or predicting moves that don't show up in the charts. But like I said, back Mt. Gox lost 850 Bitcoin, worth about 250 million at the time. But in today's prices, that's $50 billion. Mt. Gox was an inside job, though. It was the early days of crypto. It was mismanaged. A bunch of kids running the operation, bunch of uh, marginal people on the fringes of society. That's how Bitcoin was back in the day. I mean, I was in a way on the fringe of society. I was like almost like a cyberpunk almost back then. That was a long time ago. But but like I said, it was a targeted attack on his. This was a targeted attack on his cold storage security. Now, the CEO of Bybit said that there was an unauthorized transfer from a major Ethereum cold wallet on their system to an outside wallet. The biggest hack in crypto history, 1.46 billion as of right now, was moved out of suspicious transactions. Like I said, subscribe. If you haven't done so, please subscribe to the channel. If you have any questions, just put the questions in the chat. Somebody said, nice haircut. See, I put the questions up here. Nice haircut. Thank you, Alexis. So somebody asked a question. How is it that Bybit got hacked with a cold storage? It's supposed to be one of the toughest to hack. Well, the thing about cryptocurrency is that it's immature. It's immature. So when things are immature, that means that things are all over the place. And I told you guys is that a Bitcoin wallet is a text file. It can be a text file. A Bitcoin wallet is made up of a public key and a private key. Long strings of characters. That's it. And the public key is what you send to get money in. Private key is what you use to access the wallet. But the money, the Bitcoin or the crypto is actually stored on the blockchain. You never actually have any Bitcoin or crypto. All you have is this private key and public key. That's it. And you can store it we used to store them back in the day in long text files. But just it'd be private, comma, public, private, comma, public, private, comma. It would be a text file. We put a text file on a locked USB drive, and that was our crypto wallet back 15 years ago. And we used to do paper wallets where the public key, those two strings of characters, we would take the public key, turn it to a QR code, private key a QR code. Then we put the public key on the outside, private key on the inside. We'd fold it over and put a piece of tape on it so you couldn't see the private key. And that was the Bitcoin wallet back in the day. We lock the paper wallet up or something, put it into a water safe pouch or something. That's what we did back then. But that's all the Bitcoin wallets. Now, what these devices do is that they just make it more complex and make those things more secure. It's still on those devices. It's just a private key and a public key, but the device itself is highly secure. So the device itself protects those text files, really. That's all it is. So if somebody gets into a database and gets those text files and they're not encrypted or they can decrypt them, then they got the wallets. But that's because Bitcoin is very, very new. Over time, we will get better at storing crypto. We will learn from things like Bybit, and things will get better and more secure. But because we're in the early days, there's a lot of opportunity for scammers. That's why there's so many scammers in cryptocurrency. So somebody said ads are annoying. I mean, you could just pay for YouTube Premium. It's only like $20 a month. I mean, that's how you get out of ads. So back to what I was saying is that biggest hack in history, over $1.4 billion was moved out of suspicious on-chain. People say that it was done by North Korean hackers. North Korea has actually a hacker team that's funded by the government and the military to steal crypto all over the world to fund their nuclear power program. Nuclear weapon program, not power, weapon, because there's sanctions on North Korea to stop them from doing that, so they figured out a way around it. They get the best hackers in their country, they train them with the best people, and they go around all day looking for crypto to hack, and they get the money through crypto to fund their nuclear weapons program. And that's scary. That's very scary. So the North Korean group is the most notorious state-sponsored group in the world. They previously hacked Axie Affinities for 625 million, and they also hacked another one for 100 million, Harmony Bridge. So BitBay, remember we talked about how we have the private key, public key. Now there's another way that you can lock that wallet up is what's called a multi-sig wallet. So instead of having one private key, you got two private keys. Instead of having it's three. You need both of the private keys, and you also need the public key to open the wallet. So that's supposed to be the most secure method. So all you got to do is store one of the private keys somewhere else, one of them somewhere else, and separate them, and it shouldn't be hacked. So that's why I really believe that this is manipulation, or it's it's inside job. That's actually somebody just asked me, said, is it cold storage supposed to be the hardest? Yeah, it's supposed to be the hardest to get to. They supposed to actually disconnect it from the network. I don't know why I was connected. I would just disconnect it. Um, but this is what's crazy is that it's supposed to be one of the most secure methods, but the hackers manipulated the interface to display the correct wallet address while they altered the smart contract actually to get to that multi-sig wallet. And a lot of people are saying that they probably did it through either insider access or leaked private keys, which I don't know how that happened. Or they could have exploited a smart contract bug, or what's probably the most likely is they used social engineering or some kind of phishing attack. Because one of the best ways to get into a company, and I knew this because I was a white hat hacker. I had to think like a hacker to stop hackers from coming in on our software systems. So one of the best way I actually designed, if you know CompTIA, the Security Plus exam, I wrote that exam in 2014 for that year. I helped write it. So some of those questions, if you took that between like the years of 13 and 15, I actually wrote some of those questions in that exam. I don't know which ones because I never saw the exam after I wrote it, and so I don't know which ones of mine made it in there, but I know some of them did. Uh, but social engineering is when you just call somebody up and trick them into giving you the information. And that's actually becoming a better way of hacking than actually the more traditional ways. So people are saying, where are the stolen funds now? Uh, they see it, they're being moved right now to multiple wallet addresses. Hackers already started selling some of the Ethereum. Some of the centralized exchanges are trying to freeze it, like Coinbase, stuff like that, because they can tell where it came from. Because you can do on-chain analysis and know that the original wallet addresses came from Bybit, and you can freeze the account. So a lot of the central exchanges are trying to do that. But there's things called mixers out there. There's a lot of ways that you can launder cryptocurrency. What a mixer is that, remember, cryptocurrency is that's what's called the blockchain, but it's not actually not related to this, but it's kind of like that. So my wallet, for example, if I send, let's say, who's in here? Uh, let me say, Mr. Vino. So if let's say, I'm gonna make this real simple. Let's say my wallet is 1A and I send crypto to Mr. Vino. His wallet is 1B. Then he sends crypto to, let's say, Jessie, who's in it. To her crypto wallet is 1C. Now, and I'm the hacker. Now everybody knows the only way that that Mr. Vino got his money because I gave him one Ethereum. Now he had one Ethereum. He gave it to her. All the money came from me, the original hacker. So you can block any money that comes in that originates from that original hacker. Now the way that hackers get around this is that the block, it's like that you can't get away from that because it's a chain. So what the hackers do is they do use what's called a mixer, and that's on the dark web. So you have to break that chain. So if you go to a mixer and you say you send your Ethereum to a mixer, so the mixer breaks the chain because instead of taking your Ethereum and sending it to somebody else, it breaks your Ethereum down into small amounts. Then it sends it to multiple wallets, and it sends it to other wallets, and it sends it to other wallets. And then all these things happen. Then the money comes back to you from other wallets that had nothing to do with yours because the mixer takes in maybe a Ethereum from this dude, an Ethereum from that dude. And they all stole money. They puts it all in there, mixes it all around like the hokey pokey, I guess. And then everybody else gets pieces of the other person's. So it's hard to track that when you do that. That's how hackers, that's how you launder money in dark web. You use a mixer. So yeah, that's my background, Mr. Vino. I used to be a white hat hacker. That's why I talk about finance, but I only talk about crypto and tech stocks. That's what I know. I don't go into Coca-Cola and stuff like that. I stick to tech stocks and crypto. So the mixer mixes it all in, and then that's how they are able to break that chain so that people don't know where they got their crypto from. Mixers need to be illegal. They probably are, but it's on the dark web. Remember, the dark web uh, is like the Wild West. You can set up a website on the dark web. Nobody knows your identity. So it's out in that world that everything on there is illegal. There's prostitution, credit card fraud, counterfeit bills. Everything's on the dark web. And I always encourage people. I say it's a thing called Tor. The Tor is BitTorrent, not BitTorrent. I'm sorry, Tor, the Tor browser. I haven't been on there in a long time. I'm gonna go on there and just look around. I encourage everybody to look around. It's not illegal to look around. I would encourage everybody to go to the Tor, get the Tor browser, connect it, and look around. And I would tell you reason why is because you got to know what people are doing out there. It's crazy stuff on the dark web. And everybody needs to know. I'm not saying take part in it. It's not illegal to connect to the dark web. It's illegal to do stuff on there. And then some stuff's not even illegal on there, but a lot of it is. But I encourage everybody to get on there because it's some crazy stuff happening on the dark web. And you need to know what's happening, how your data is being used, how people, it's a marketplace for it. It makes you more secure as a person because you know what's happening all of a sudden. You know that they're selling, you can go on there and you can buy skimmers. And there are even guides that tell hackers how to go to a credit card pump, for example, and place a thing over top of the credit card reader so that it skims your credit card numbers and the person comes back and takes it. And they even teach people how to use which model numbers of which gas pumps, how to identify the model numbers. It's a whole university on there teaching people. People actually sell courses on the dark web on how to do these things. Just like people sell courses on Instagram and social media. There's a course community on there. Is a course community. And there's a course community on there. And you have to, I encourage people to see it just because it'll blow your brain out to see that things on the dark web. But it will also make you a more secure person because you'll realize what's happening and how much money is in stealing identities, credit card numbers, and stuff like that. So let's move on. Maybe I'll go live and we'll go on the dark web. I don't know. Because it's not illegal to go on there. It's just illegal to do stuff. So like I said, is that they are trying to freeze it, but the bigger picture here is that crypto is taking a beating because retail investors. I'm so sad this happened because retail investors get scared of stuff like this. They get terrified when they see things because the average investor don't know what's going on, and now they're afraid. They think that uh, all cryptos may be insecure. So to average person, it scares people. So, like I said, Bybit hack raised a lot of critical questions. If one of the world's largest exchanges with advanced security measures can be compromised, then how safe is my crypto? This isn't just about Bybit; it's about the fundamental risk of storing assets on exchanges. And that's why we always tell people, not your keys, not your crypto. You got to get the crypto off the exchange. Now, it's okay to have a little bit if you plan on selling it, day trading, or whatever, but don't leave a lot of crypto on those exchanges. A multi-sig wallet is one of the most secure. It is the most secure way to store crypto in a wallet. Uh, but it should be much harder to hack, in theory at least. But that shows that even the most secure wallet isn't foolproof. If their advanced protections failed, how safe is everybody else's crypto on every other exchange? It's not. Bybit is actually bigger than Coinbase. So, like I said, self custody is always important. Not your keys, not your crypto. The best way to store crypto safely is in a hardware wallet, a Ledger, Trezor. There's two of them. Let me see if I can look one up. And always get it off of the Trezor website. Don't buy on a third party because you can also tamper with these. You can tamper with these if you wanted to. Or you can just upload your own software. Like, don't buy it on Alibaba. Please don't do that because you end up losing everything. But Trezor Wallet is one that I like. It's a lot more advanced than when they first started. It's pretty cool. They also have Anchor Up. Sorry. They have Trezor. There's a lot of different ones out there. Arculus is one that I like a lot. Uh, MetaMask is a hot wallet that a lot of people use. I don't, but so remember, there's been three major crypto crashes. Mount Gox was one. That was the one that caused me to give up on crypto earlier. If I would have stayed in crypto, I'd probably have $1 billion by now. But it caused me to quit. Uh, FTX was in 2022, and then Bybit. Now, the previous two caused the top of the market, and the market never recovered after that for 3 more years. So, hopefully, this is not going to happen. Hopefully, that Bybit is right, and they're not going to. They actually can get the money back like they claim they can. That's what caused the market to stabilize. So hopefully, everything's going to work okay. I don't know. We'll see. Uh, so a lot of people are using this to say that as an example of why you should hold ETFs uh, instead. And a lot of, and this could, like I said, this could be part of the manipulation. And I'm telling, this doesn't, like I said, this does not sound right to me. And I'm telling you why. It's because there's actually two reasons why a major corporation or hedge funds would want this to happen. One is because they took out short positions. Now, I think I showed it to you guys. There were massive short positions um, that were taken out uh, 10 days before this happened. So now they make money off the short positions, right? But they also make money off of people being afraid now to hold their own crypto. Well, look how complicated this is. Wow, even the best people can lose their crypto. Though, just let us hold it through ETFs instead, and we'll protect it. We'll take care of it. And then you can, just trade it. But remember, they're getting a fee for this. They're selling you that through the ETFs, they sell it to you at a premium. But it's okay. But I'm just saying is that they do have an incentive to get you to fear Bitcoin stored in that way or trying to hold your own crypto. They want you to buy Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, or whatever through those ETFs. ETFs are insured. There's no risk of exchange hacks, but if it does get hacked, you get your money back. So that little 2-3% that you pay may be worth it for some people. But you don't fully control your cryptocurrency. They control it. With some people may say, well, I'm okay with that. I don't think nothing's going to happen. But, I'd rather control mine. I have never bought an ETF. I may one day, but I haven't. So some people say they'd rather go with BlackRock than Bybit because Bybit lost all their money. BlackRock is insured. So a lot of people say they'd rather buy it through BlackRock or MicroStrategy. MicroStrategy is a proxy investment, but I believe MicroStrategy is going to crash if the market crashes because it's selling at a premium, and that never works out. So a lot of people ask me what happens next. Let me see if we got any questions. Funny, I got an ad about Webull since we started talking about wallets. I got my wallet hacked. I got no faith in offline wallets. How did that happen? I wonder how you got your wallet hacked. So it got hacked while it was disconnected? Where did you buy it at? Because if you bought it at another, that's the only way that could happen, I'm thinking, is that you bought it from eBay or Amazon and somebody already tampered with it. So when you deposited your money, it just went to their wallet anyway. That's what I think happened. But yeah, I think that where'd you buy that, Miss Tech Not Fancy? That seems kind of weird. I'm just curious, really, now. I'm really curious. I don't know if she left already, but I'm curious. Oh, Miss Tech Not Fancy, if you're in exchange, you have information on your own. Okay, so if your exchange accounts is hacked, then your hackers have information on your offline wallet. That's not true either, because all they would have is the public key. I mean, like that's all they would have. They don't have the private key. The private keys are stored supposedly on that. I mean, they are stored on the hardware wallet. So all the exchange would have is your public key. They can't hack with that. So it had to be somebody tampered or somebody around you stole that Bitcoin. That's the only way that could have possibly happened. There is no way. The only way the device itself was tampered with, or somebody that took that crypto. That's the only way that could happen. That's the only way. It's the only way. Let's move on. So like I said, Bybit. So the media question now. I appreciate that all thing. Appreciate the. So if you guys like everything, give me a. So he gave me a super chat, $4.99. I appreciate you all things over. I'll try to put people super chat questions on the screen. So good evening, Armando. Do you think Bitcoin will draw down to 80 territory this cycle? At this point, I don't know. We have to see what happens overnight because Asia markets are going to start waking. I think they're. It's morning. Is it morning for them? I think it is. So we got to see how the Asian market takes this. And then I say about in the morning, we'll know more of a clearer picture and we do some technical analysis. Remember, technical analysis is good for stuff like this. We can see where the support lines are and see how far this can really go down. I'll have it ready by Sunday. Uh, so they provide a script and after analyzing chat, I don't know what that means. So it could draw down to 85, 80. I don't know. I doubt it uh, now, but it could. This is the first time that like I said, traditionally these types of hacks have ended the cycle. So we'll have to. It's going to be a weird couple of probably weekend to see how the market, takes this. So by Sunday night, I think we'll have a clearer picture. Asian market's already up. Yeah. So I appreciate this. So $10 super chat. I appreciate you, AE Tally Construction. Thank you so much. Thank you. I really appreciate when you guys do that. So like I said, is the immediate question now is what's going to happen next? Will Bitcoin recover quickly, or could these aftershocks drag the market lower? If I'm sorry, Bybit struggles to cover the losses, we could see another FTX type collapse. And hopefully that doesn't happen. I don't think it will. But it's going to continue to bring up questions of crypto security, exchange trust, future regulations. So a lot of people that are anti-crypto are going to jump all over this one. So, like I said, Bitcoin is at about, let me see where it's at. Let's look at where Bitcoin's at. Bitcoin's at 96. So it looked like it's recovering or stabilizing. It was at hit about 95. So if we can hold that, if we get over 97 and hold that as support, we could be okay. If the hackers stop selling, a bounce could be likely and we could bounce back to 100. So we got hopefully if the exchanges can stop the hacker from selling or the seller just stops or some kind of something happens over the next day, we could see because I mean that's pretty good that things have stabilized. We got the fear and greed index. I don't have it on my screen. But if you look at it, we got the fear and greed index at 38, which is pretty good to be at 100,000 to have a 38. Now, for those of you who don't know what that is, we use the fear and greed index to figure if the market is overbought, oversold. You can do that on the TA with technical analysis, with RSI and other indicators. But this is also a good one. Is that when the greed goes up extremely high, that means that there's a fall likely. If the fear is low, I mean, if the fear is high, which means the index is lower, there may be a bounce is likely because remember, people do things the opposite of what they should be doing in the market. So when the market's going up, they get greedy. When it falls, they get scared. They should actually be doing the opposite, and that's what you guys should do. But we're at 38, which is every time we've normally got around 100, we've been way up here in the green area. So that means that if we get through this hack and it's not as bad as people think, we could see Bitcoin get to 110, 120 here quickly. So if Bybit fails to cover all the losses, the users will panic withdrawal. It could create a liquidity crisis on their end. Other exchanges may start tightening security withdrawals like they did with FTX. I don't know who's connected to Bybit, but governments will use this hack as an excuse for tighter regulations. Guaranteed. The biggest hack in history, they will guaranteed use this for something. I don't know what. They're going to push for stricter KYC, which I hate KYC. KYC, for those you don't know, is know your customer. It's used in banks. That means that anytime you do a transaction or do business with a person, I had to do this when I used to be in crypto for my crypto site, is that when somebody buys crypto or whatever, before 2018, you didn't have to do none of this. Just buy, sell crypto. You could get on the exchange with just an email address before 18. But then when the SEC started getting involved in crypto, they made you do the same KYC that banks have to do. Now, bank, in order to stop terrorists, criminal organizations, stuff like that, banks are required to know their customer, which means that they have to take certain information, identities from their customer, run it through a database to see if these person is a terrorist, have done any financial crimes in the past, or if this person has is on some type of list where they're not supposed to be banked. Uh, Before you're allowed to bank with them. And crypto also has to do that now too. So, 99% of people are going to just run through it. Do your, that those things where you have your face on there and you have to upload your credit card. I mean, sorry, your driver's license stuff that didn't exist in crypto before. It was just your email address. So if I was on Bybit, I would withdraw. I don't know how many of you guys are on Bybit, but I would take my money out now before it's too late. And there's nothing wrong with taking it off. You can always put it back, but I would take it off. So we did get another $10. I appreciate that, TS. Hi, Armando. Tell me what your current thoughts on Oakland RGTI is. Lost a whole lot with them this week. Thanks. I think I talked about this on Future Money. I said that what's happening now, and I don't want to get down this path because we're talking about this hack, but because you paid the super chat, I'll tell you, is that we're either we may be like we're at the remember I told you AI has 4 phases. One, the first phase is was shock and everybody started buying hardware. You had to buy Nvidia chips. Second phase was software. That's why Palantir did good. Third phase is build out, infrastructure, cloud systems. Fourth is disillusion. Disillusion is a crash because no matter how great the technology, it never exceeds expectations or matches them. People always think it's going to do more than it does. People get discouraged and they start selling. Now, this investors try to predict that bubble from happening. That's what a bubble forms. That's how that bubble is going to form. So a lot of investors are trying to predict it. So they may think that we're at the bubble now, or we're at it next month, and they're trying to beat everybody to the punch. So they may see weaknesses in the AI market, and they're shorting and attacking it. Which I think with Palantir being so overvalued, with SoundHound last week, Nvidia divesting from SoundHound, and also with quantum computers not living up to expectations as fast as everybody. I knew it would happen a year or two from now. I thought we were early anyway. Uh, it may be a convergence of things that's happening that a lot of short traders and people who think the bubble's over could be attacking. Now, could this be the bubble being over? Yeah, it could be. It could not be. I don't know. Remember I told you I'm 50-50 on all this stuff now, and I don't like to be 50-50. If I'm 50-50, I stop buying. Long term, Palantir, Nvidia, those 2 stocks you mentioned are going to be great. Short term, you may see some incredible volatility. So we got another one. 1999. Appreciate that, Gary. Shiba Dog and Shima holding a golden trophy. I don't know what that is. Hope that's not your phrase, but I appreciate the 1999. Armando, can tell you about your current. Oh, I already answered that question. Any more questions? Yeah, thank you guys for the super chats. I really appreciate that. And like I said, if you like everything that's happening, what I do, I would appreciate those super chats. Let's move on. So, like I said, I would if I was on Bybit right now, I would withdraw. So, the only thing we do is watch the news. It may not be as bad because it does look like it's recovering, but sometimes those could be dead cat bounces. So we just have to see what's happening. But the the biggest key takeaways here is that remember this is the biggest crypto theft in history. 1.5 billion, right under 1.5 billion. North Korean hackers are most likely responsible. Now, this eventually is going to turn to an international incident because Korean hackers have been left to hack without any repercussions for years. And they're disrupting the world economy. They're disrupting innovation. They're disrupting uh, efficiency all over the world. Eventually, a country will start attack them for this and they're using that money to fund nuclear weapons. I mean, I don't know what they're thinking over there. That everybody's just going to sit back and let them do that. It's not going to happen, especially with Trump in office. Now, once Trump hears about all this stuff and he actually conceptualizes it, they're going to pay for this stuff. I don't know why they just can't just give up on the nuclear weapons program. I don't know why they keep doing it. Like, nobody in the world is going to let them get nukes. I don't know why they keep trying. But multi-sig wallets apparently are not as secure as we thought. Self-custody, remember, is crucial. Hardware wallets are crucial. Don't trust exchanges with your funds. Just don't. Bitcoin ETFs could be safer for some people, but they remove your control of your own cryptocurrency. Now, but if you ask me, this is what I think about all this. I think that it's some type of manipulation. This is not real. I think that those shorts tell us that it's not real. There's been massive short. Why would there be shorts right before? But it could just be a coincidence. I don't know. But though, and then all of a sudden, these same, so a lot of these companies are pushing. And it's what's weird is that this is what the situation is that a lot of the mid-sized, smaller size hedge funds took out massive short positions on Ethereum the last 3, 4 weeks. The bigger companies took out long positions on Ethereum the 3, 4 weeks to cover their ETFs. Because remember, they're spot ETFs. And then this situation happens. Because in this situation, remember, the shorts win because Ethereum dropped 5, 6%. So they made a massive amount of money. Maybe make a little bit more. Then the longs win because after that happens, they convince you to buy the Ethereum through the ETFs. And then you buy the ETFs, pushing the Ethereum back to all-time highs. Both sides win in that situation. Oh, they make more ridiculous amounts of money. That's why I think this is some type of manipulation. But I think crypto overall will recover. But this is a wake-up call for a lot of people to make sure you understand what's happening with your cryptocurrency. Don't trust any exchanges. And make sure you just pay attention. So we got another super chat. So somebody says, you mentioned ledgers bought on Amazon being tampered. You mean ones that have been renewed. I wouldn't trust, unless it was sold by Trezor on Amazon, I would not trust. I would not trust. I would buy it from the website. I would just be safe and buy it right from the Trezor website. Because remember, I was a hacker. I could hack one of those. Now, what I would do is I'd open it up. And this is what I would do. I'm gonna tell you right now what I would do. And like I said, I don't do these things, but that was my job for years to think of ways that people would hack and protect against it. Now, if I got to put myself in the mind of the hacker, what I would do is I would take one of those Trezor devices, I'd open it up, take the casing off, I would look into it, I would call China and get a board custom made just like that. I would look at the board that's inside the circuit board. I would get another board printed the same size, same shape, but my board would have only, and it's probably LED screen, LED or LCD screen on there. So I'd get a screen, I get all the components, I get all, because they got serial numbers on the components. I'd get the components from China, I'd build my own boards because I could do that. I'd get the boards printed, put them in my thing, put the chips on the board. I could do that with a soldering iron, put an LCD screen on there. But the software in this board would be my software. But it would look like on the board, it would look the same on the screen because I would just copy the graphics. I'll put it back in there. I seal it all back up, put it back in the box, send it to you. You open it up. Wow, great box. Well, let me see how this works. I would even change the instructions so you wouldn't go through the instructions that Trezor said. You go through my instructions. So, and then you would look on the instructions and you would say, oh, I got to do this, do this. All I got to do is when you put that money, when you scan that QR code and you deposit your crypto into that hardware wallet, my wallet would be stored in all of them. Every single one would have my wallet on there. So when you deposited it into that wallet, it would all go to mine. That's how I would hack everybody. But I'm not going to do that. But I'm just showing you how easy it is for somebody to do that. No, I wouldn't do it, but somebody could do it. Somebody says, Armando just wanted to say, I appreciate you too, man. Thank you so much for the $4.99 golf pest control. But that's not even hard to do. That's very easy. I could do that in a week. And you know what I would do to get you too? I'd sell them a little bit cheaper. Make sure mine got sold first. Like the average Trezor would be like $90. I'd sell mine for $75. So you'd buy it. So when you get it, it'll look just like one. It would be in the box and everything. But you didn't buy it from Trezor, so you don't know. So somebody says, what are your thoughts on ARM? Again, can you find a live where you talked about your prediction? Yeah, ARM, I think, is still going to do well. But remember, we're in I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's going on now. So we're on like a wait and see right now with AI. ARM, if AI recovers, ARM's still going to do good. If it doesn't, ARM's going to take a lot longer to do well. So remember, in the dot-com boom in the late 90s, dot-com went up, went down. And most people forgot about it. The biggest moves in dot-com happened between 2000 and 2008. when Amazon went up 8, 9 times and Google went up 7 times and all these companies went way up, when the time when everybody looked away, when it was no longer exciting, when the price action wasn't every day, that's when the biggest gains happen. That's the same thing that's going to happen in AI. NVIDIA, all these stocks will have the biggest gains over the next 6, 7, 8 years. That's when you're going to see the biggest gains in these things. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. Anybody else want to give a super chat? I'll answer any questions if you do a super chat. But yeah, that's what I would do. I would take everybody's money. But the reason why I think like that is because, once again, I am a white hat hacker. So I have to think of ways. I had to. I don't do that no more. I don't know if you can see it, but my name's right there. Let me see right there. I had to think of ways that hackers would do things so that I could protect against it. And that's how I would do it. That's why I'm saying, instead of saving the $25, just go to the website, man. The company doesn't have any incentive to steal your crypto. Armando says, I keep getting a text to go send a message to Coinbase because I authorize a withdrawal. That could be a lie. Remember, they target people like that. You have to be careful with those calls and make sure you're calling the right person and those text messages are real. ARM is not on Coinbase. ARM is a stock, Tevin. So I'll give you guys about a few minutes to drop any super chats. If you like the live, drop a super chat. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe to the channel or like the video. I would appreciate that. You could do either 3 ways. You can subscribe, like the video, or you can give me a super chat to show appreciation. Unless you didn't like the video, you don't have to do none of that. So where do you recommend purchase the wallet from? Directly from the manufacturer website. All right, 3 more minutes to ask any questions. You can also join the CNC. I just have to have a friend that didn't hate to see what's happening. All right, I don't know what that is. All right, well, I hope you guys have a great day, a great night, great weekend. Hope to see you on Sunday, and I'll be back on YouTube on Monday at 10:30 for Future Money. I appreciate you guys.